realized that it's been pretty tough to be somewhat optimistic if you're a Raiders fan this year. Like, let's just be real, 2-12, 10-game losing streak, not great, right? But I would argue that the 2024 draft class for the Raiders has been a reason to be a little excited. So obviously you got Brock Bowers, who's playing like the best tight end in the NFL. I said what I said. But you also have a couple of picks in Jackson Powers-Johnson and DJ Glaze that I think deserve a little bit of credit, especially for what they've done over these last couple of games. And I think they're kind of figuring it out. So I just kind of want to show you some things here as far as kind of how these two have looked already this year. Now, again, they're rookies. They're going to learn. They're going to make mistakes. But I think that the biggest thing that you look for is improvement, and they don't make the same mistake twice. So Jackson Powers-Johnson this year, as you can see, yes, things got, he actually wasn't that bad to start out the season, obviously with the injury and everything, kind of getting everything slow going. But, you'll notice these last three games here where he hasn't allowed a sack, hasn't allowed a quarterback hit. And yes, there's been hurries and some pressures and everything, which I understand. But at the same time, when you compare that to, the stretches before that, yes, he did allow sacks. He did allow things to happen. And, specifically the pass blocking grade, I think you're seeing a guy that is stepping up and is getting out there a little bit better. And the guy that's in the middle of it all, I think that you really are encouraged by a guy that's standing up tall like Jackson Powers-Johnson is right now. Plus, then when you go over to DJ Glaze, a lot of the same story. It was kind of a good start, kind of, in the middle it was what it was. But now, over these last couple of games, has continued to find ways to, keep the quarterback, whoever it is, clean. And yes, there has been sacks, there has been mistakes, but arguably DJ Glaze coming into this thing was going to be a guy that needed the most work. And, the fact that he's only allowed a couple of sacks, I think is something positive. I think that potentially, Jackson Powers-Johnson and DJ Glaze could be building pieces for you along this offensive line. And yes, it takes time, it takes improvement, it takes grit, it takes all of that stuff, check off all the boxes that you want to say. But, I think it would be one thing if we're seeing these guys play like Dylan Parham right now, who over these last handful of games has struggled, and it looks like DJ Glaze and Jackson Powers-Johnson are at least holding down the fort, and could potentially be big-time building pieces for you as you go along here. And again, keep in mind, they're doing this without a running game, and I know that they play a part in that, especially as run blockers. But when the Raiders, especially when they had Sincere McCormick, and when they're not behind and trying to throw the ball with Desmond Ridder, they can run the football, and I think that they have shown they can do that behind DJ Glaze and Jackson Powers-Johnson. And so I'm pretty encouraged. I understand that it's been a frustrating year, like we said, 2-12, all that stuff, but there's things to build on, especially through the 2024 draft. I think arguably you could have three guys in Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers-Johnson, and DJ Glaze that are all going to be starters for you in the long term. And so, like I said, there's some things going on with this offensive line for the Raiders. There is good things happening. We just got to find the rest of the pieces to make it work. But overall, let us know what you guys think about DJ Glaze and Jackson Powers-Johnson, who are quietly balling out right now. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.